This is Blankera, and welcome to my universe. Now, it's time to get the belt area. I was thinking about doing it last time, but I realized that if I attempted to, I'd probably just rush. So I figured I'd just do it at the start of today. So, it is now today. Let's do it! I don't really want to do a ton of stuff here, just enough for a little bit of wiggling around. So, just gonna stare at it for a second, as I always like to do at the very beginning. And decide what should go in this parameter, because there's actually quite a lot of things kind of in this area. So I think for now, I'm just gonna focus on the belt itself, so that'll include like the belt loops, metal bits here, the belt here. This long bit of belt is gonna get its own parameter. And then I think I might do like the folds in the skirt and stuff on its own parameter with the rest of the skirt here. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Just deciding how I want to divide all of this up before going in and actually moving things around. It's important to think about what you're doing. Okay, I think I'm gonna turn the code off for this. Yeah, that should let me see everything that needs to be done. And I'll start with the belt loops. Those seem pretty easy, so that seems like a good place to start. Let's see, but I have to find them. There we go. A lot of skirt layers. If I was gonna do more stuff with all this, that would have been nice to have, but I'm just gonna keep it simple. We're just gonna move this over here a little bit, let it do a little wiggle. I'm gonna make it look like it's being very much held in place by this button, and I'm wondering, these here, are they floppy or are they like sewn into the skirt? I think they actually are sewn into the skirt, so I'm gonna undo those parts and only move up here. So I think that actually means I want to back up a little bit more here. Yeah, let's just try again, because I wasn't thinking about it at first, but now that I look at it, this actually does look like it's physically attached to the skirt, and I think that makes more sense than just having the button with these little bits just hanging off. So yeah, I think I'll forget like that. Important to know how everything is attached. Like, up here is definitely attached, so I think it makes sense for down there to be attached too. It does mean that I don't get to make it quite as floppy and fun, but I think it just makes more sense that way. I don't mind a little bit of wiggle there, but that's probably about the extent that I want. Yeah, there we go, and this will make these look nice and loose, which I think will look nice. Here we go. Oh shoot, I put it in the wrong... Dang nabbit. I clicked on the corner again. Gotta stop doing that. But I just get so focused on actually moving everything that I don't notice that I drifted over to the corner. See, it's easy to notice when I have the up and down going, because when I go to a corner with that, it looks wrong. But when it's just the left here and all that, the corner looks exactly the same as the left angle. So I don't see a visual difference. I'm just like, dang it! Why do I keep clicking on the wrong one? Gotta stop that. Stop it. Okay. So now I guess the next part is going to be these tiny little loops there. I'm still not quite sure what this is supposed to be, but it looks like it'll be kind of held in place by the belt there, so I'm go with that assumption. Because I got nothing better. Let's see, where... belt... What layer is this? This is all belt stuff. This is all kind of behind area. I'm not moving that. I'ma just click until I find them because I don't remember what I called them. I do my best to be descriptive with names, but man, there's only so much you can do. Small loops. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. So we'll just... I don't really want them to move in the middle too much. I want to make it look like they're being, like, attached by the belt. So I want the top and the bottom to move a little bit more than the area connected by the belt. Might actually be easier to move individual vertices at this rate. I'll let them move a little bit in the belt's grasp, but gonna keep it pretty small here. It should be fine because her waist isn't moving that much to begin with. Let me try to keep the bottoms attached, though. Again. Okay. We focus less. We stop doing that. Very important. Okay, that should be fine. And here we are. I'm gonna be careful how I move this, since I do want to keep those little loops in about the same spot. And I just want the top and the bottom to move, and let's let this be just a little bit floppier there. Okay. I think that's probably about the best I can do. Yeah, that's enough for a little wiggle. I think that should be fine. Okay, then next will be the belt itself. I think I will do the pockets when I do the rest of the skirt, so just belt. Let me see, how do I want this to move? Let's start with that little metal bit, because I think that'll be easy-ish. And I think I'm going to do that with mostly transforms, as opposed to deforms. I have a vision. Let's see if it works out. Once I find the layer. Look, it's got to be here somewhere. It's got to be here somewhere. Belt buckle. That's the back. There it is. Okay, so what I think I want to do, I want to move it over like 2, and then I want to rotate it on, yeah, it'll be the y-axis. We're gonna make it kind of turn toward us a little bit. Scooch. And there appears to be something wrong with the mesh here. Give me just a moment. I see a little spot has been cut out there. Yeah, something was not connected. That didn't apply it. Oh, because it wasn't a triangle, of course. Okay, well, it's kind of awkward looking, but it is full of triangles now. And considering I'm just doing transforms on it instead of deforms, I think that should be okay. Yeah, it's kind of looking like it's turning toward us now. And I think that'll look pretty cool. I just have to get the spots to cooperate with me. So I need to find the right, like, vertical location there. Let me stare at this for a second so you can see I kind of want this bottom part to line up with the belt a little. I mean, the belt is gonna move, so I don't necessarily have to be super picky, but I don't think that's the right spot. That seems like a decent spot. Maybe one more to the side. No, I think it's actually more important that I line it up with this. Because, I mean, yeah, the back of the belt should also move over just very slightly. Should probably also rotate it just a little. Because the basic idea is that I just want everything to move to the left a little bit. And it'll all make sense once everything is moving to the left a little bit. It's gonna look weird until the belt is moving too. But I have chosen to start with the belt buckle, so here we are. Just trying to get these pieces in about the same place relative to each other. Because in the default, this little bit is sticking past the belt buckle itself. So I think that's probably the kind of wiggle I want. Now I just need to apply a similar wiggle to the rest of the belt. Okay. Now I have to decide how to handle just the weird knot of belt here. That is a weird knot of belt. I think I'm just gonna select all of it. Let me see here. No, we're not gonna worry about back parts yet. Not gonna worry about shadows yet. Seeing what I got here. Okay. So that's, yeah, back there. This is actually relevant, so I will take that. I know I said I wasn't worrying about back parts, but that part is actually kind of big, so it's not the same. Flippy, I'm not gonna worry about yet. Not gonna worry about the thin parts yet. Okay, slanted. Slanted buttons, yes. Connecting belts makes sense. My goodness, there's a lot going on here. Alright. Okay, and I guess I do need Flippy then, since the top of it is that. And I guess I will grab belt main, too, because I'm pretty sure that's what I called it. Belt main, here we are. Okay. So there's just all the belt pieces. I'm a little bit scared of doing this, but I think this is the best way to handle what I want to do. Let's not make it complicated. Let's keep it simple. We're just gonna move this entire mass a little bit further over. I'm gonna try to line it up with the belt buckle here. Oh gosh, but I can't let it get into the belt loops. I'll have to correct that individually. Oh shoot, I did all that the wrong... God damn it. Unset. Reset. There we go. I just cannot select the right keyframes lately. It keeps happening. And I just almost chucked my own spit there. Okay, well, let's try that again. Remember what all of these things are. Okay, I guess if I'm moving the whole thing, maybe I should have moved the shadows too. Most of the back parts I'm gonna leave out, though. Okay. Buttons, yes. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. No. Okay. So this should be all of them. And now I'm on the right keyframe. Yay. I've been a little scatterbrained lately, and I don't know why. I guess sometimes it's just like that. Yeah, I think that pretty much does what I want. Once I move the back part here and get this part out of the belt loop. Should not be existing inside the belt loop. Okay. So that would be... There's like a back... somewhere around here. Yeah. We're just gonna slide you over a little. And I will actually adjust the flippy part itself so that it lines up with that, because I think that'll be easier than trying to adjust the back. You know, it's a good thing I can just copy and paste this every time that I do this. Otherwise, it would take me much longer to do anything. Okay. All okay. Everything's fine. Everything is totally fine. So where's slanted? Here we are. Let's get these two parts out of the belt loop. We'll just let it kind of look like it's crashing into it, which... Actually, what am I talking about? Even in the default, it goes inside the belt loop. Huh. I think that was probably an error in how I cut it. Let me actually look at the original art, because if that's the case, I might actually change it a little bit. Oh gosh, they changed the order to be release order instead of alphabetical. I'm sure I could change that, but okay. Let me just find the art here. Zoom in on that spot. Yeah, this is strictly a draw order issue. Okay, well, if that's the case... Can I reconcile that? I might be able to, actually. Let me unset this. Okay. So, here's how you handle Z-index and draw order. Right now you can see that this belt loop, it is sitting on top of the belt, and that is silly. That does not make sense. So my goal is to make it so that the belt will sit on top of the belt loop, but this part has to exist under the belt loop, and this part has to exist under this part. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that. That's probably why it was like this. So let's see what I can do. We have slanted. So its number is 644. And the loop is 635. Man, how am I gonna do that? I'm not actually sure if it's possible. So basically what Z-index does is it determines the order to draw the layers. Ones with... Oh, I always get this backwards because I'm super dyslexic, but I believe ones with lower numbers are drawn... Yeah, they're on top, basically. So you can see that the head is, you know, at 150. And so I'm pretty sure that if I just moved her entire head... I'll undo this after, but if I moved her entire head over to her skirt, it would exist on top. So, yes. I had to check that because, like I said, I always get it backwards. I can never remember if lower numbers sit on top or if higher numbers sit on top, but yes, lower numbers sit on top. And it just determines the order that they should display in. So if I wanted to make it so that the belt loop went further back, I'd give it a lower number. But I'm pretty sure if I did that, this would no longer display correctly. But just for demonstration purposes, I'll go ahead and do that. So the slanted belt is 644. So if I made you 655, then it's like, yes, it would display under the belt, but now we have all this. If you ever wondered why I made comments of like, man, I don't want to deal with draw order right now, this is why. It's kind of a pain. Well, shoot. But I just don't know how I can reconcile with this being on top of this, and this absolutely must be on top of this. But it also being in front of this, when this needs to be behind this. I have, like, a death triangle going on here. Where this must be below this, but on top of this, and this must be on top of this, but below this. And of course, this back area has to be below everything. So even if I brought this guy forward, and, I don't know, 20-something, he would appear on top, and now everything is wrong. Ah, pain. Ah, man. I think if I was going to do something about that, I would just have to cut it differently. Make it so that this way there's a piece at the bottom here. That would display under here, but above here. Okay, plan B. Can I get away with... I mean, I obviously can't leave it like that. That's, kind of bad. But can I get away with just... moving it out of the way? And then on the default angle, just moving it out of the way here, too. It looks a bit silly, but I think it's less silly than the alternative. I do, actually, so I guess that's what I'll do. I think that's the best I can do for now. Unfortunately, this part is lower down, so as long as I keep the back out of the way, I can still kind of get my squish over here, so that seems fine. What are you? You were like a connecting or something? Yeah. Trying to get the belt to be consistent with there. So there we go. Rigging, problem solving. I believe the correct way to handle that would have been to just do what I was describing and make this into 2 layers. But I've been having issues with changing things like that. So I don't currently trust the program enough to do that. So we'll just do it like this. This is fine. If I wasn't worried about the programming crashing on me or eating some of my work, I would probably have just fixed it a little bit more properly, but while the program is still a little bit unstable, I'm just gonna do it like this. Look, I still have trauma from the last time I tried to change something about the art of the model. And I basically made 0 progress that day because it just kept crashing. Every time I autosaved, it crashed. Just because there was something wrong with... Let me see, I believe when I looked at GitHub to follow the issue I submitted on it, that the developer said that she accidentally had the path going into the wrong place, so it was referencing the wrong place in the save data, more or less, and thus was trying to load nothing and draw nothing, and it got very confused. It was something like that. Where'd it go? Here it is. Just wanted to smooth out right there. So it's okay. This is why I said I kind of want to wait until 0.9 before I do another model. I'm hoping that by then the program will be more stable. There'll be some more fun features to play with. And it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. No news on when that's happening, though, so it might be a little bit before I do more rigging. It's okay, it'll give me a chance to practice a little bit more. I will just do some practice models in the meantime, and hopefully when we come back, I will have all kinds of shiny new techniques to show off. Learn a little bit more about tracking. Learn a little bit more on how to make sure that I choose the right keyframe. Okay, was that the only one? Nope. Okay, I actually don't like what I did with the highlight there. So I'm gonna dial it back a lot. Okay, now I just want to fix up where it kind of connects to the belt loop there. And then I think it'll be good. See, this is why I didn't want to start on this last time, because I was sure that there was going to be a little bit more detail here than I was prepared for. Okay, then the shadows there. Do I have those on a separate layer? Looks like it. I want to put those back toward the belt buckle. And then I think I want to make this look a little bit rounder, like it's really having to hold back the flippy part. Like the flippy part is just doing its best to break out of containment, but this part will not let it. Okay, I think I want to add just a touch more roundness on the other one too. You see, I think these buttons are like holding it in place, so I don't want to move it too much there, just up here. We're gonna let this one swing around as much as it can. Okay, and then I think I'll just adjust the back corner of main here. Just a little bit right there, just to make it look like it's still staying around her waist and that it's fairly tight. Because I don't think this part should be flopping around a bit. Just a little. I think I will actually adjust the highlights over here to kind of let it flop around a little bit more. Yeah, but just like a little bit of stretching. I think that should be good. And don't worry, the long flippy part, it'll get its own parameter. So this is fine. This is fine for now. I'm just gonna straighten it out and make sure it at least looks smooth here. But I want to move the bottom part as little as possible here. Okay. Now I just want to do a very light touch on these tiny little belt parts. We're just gonna, yeah, do something like that. Just a super, super light touch. Belt thin, here we are. Okay, let's see how that moves. I don't like the bottom here, but that's like the only thing I dislike. Well, and here's a bit strange, but I've already established the unfortunate truth is that it just got I just got to deal with it. Okay, and then a little bit over on the little flippy part right there. And then maybe just a tad up there. Oh yeah, I think it's looking pretty good so far. The areas that I'm seeing all require fairly small corrections. The belt here is made out of a pretty stiff material, so it doesn't need to move like that much or anything. No, I actually think that button there is moving just a tad too much. And I think that'll look fine if I move the highlight here just a little. Let's let this highlight shift just a little bit too. Now that I'm zoomed in, I'm probably going to notice more and more issues, but it's fine. The belt was one of those areas that I knew was going to be a little bit hard. It's okay, I think I'll be able to wrangle it. Let's see. The part under there, not quite working out the way that I want right now, so let's see what I can do to fix that. Okay, I think I see what's happening. There's like a little highlight on it. And it's not moving the same amount as everything around it, so it looked like it was getting a little bit stretched out. So let's just slide everything over a little. And see if that makes it look a little bit nicer. Yeah, I think so. Now I'll just keep cleaning up that edge. There's a few spots here that still look a little bit too thick. It's okay if it doesn't quite match up with the belt the way it was before. After all, it is kind of sliding a bit to the left, so it makes sense that it shows a little bit more of the back of the buckle there. I think what I had before was showing a little bit too much, but now I think it's doing okay. I'm just trying to get it closer to the same width as it was before, because it shouldn't be getting thicker. I mean, I don't mind if it gets a little thicker. But not the goal here. I mean, you have to remember when I was working on the sleeves and stuff, that I very intentionally stretched some of them out. So there are times when it's okay to just not completely match things up. But in this case, I wanted to match a little closer than what I have it. This was made out of a stiffer material. It looks very leathery to me. So I kind of want to keep that impression. Okay. Before I go down and work on this part a little bit more, I want to finish up here and adjust this belt here. I think it is good for the most part. I do like the way it kind of bulges a little bit. I think that's good. I just want to make it a little bit smoother and have it connect at the right places. And then I felt like the bottom here was getting thick. That's kind of the downside to moving them all at once like that, but I do think it was way easier than the alternative, so it's fine. It's totally fine. And I want to point little pointy part at the end in a slightly leftward direction too. And like it's fighting to move against the button menace. Doing its best to move as far as it can, but just cannot because it is attached right there. Yeah, I think that should be pretty good. I'll test the motion momentarily. Yeah, that seems pretty good. And over here looks like it's fighting against the buttons too, which I like. Okay, I'm gonna go slightly adjust up here now. I just pushed a little bit too high, no big deal. Yeah, and actually now that I look at it, a little bit of the back was showing up top, which is weird, but you know, if I was doing it at one place, it probably means I can get away with doing it here too. It'll probably look less weird in fixing that. Yeah, I like this. I kind of like how a little bit less of the shadow there is showing, so it looks like it's really starting to bulge out in that direction. So I think that looks good. Okay. That just leaves right here, because let me check this little connecting belt a little bit more explicitly, but yeah, I think he's perfect. Maybe just the corner right there. Yeah, I think that's good. So now I just adjust the rest of the belt here, and I think that'll be it for the left keyframe. And we'll see if I can avoid putting things in a corner keyframe on the right. I get the feeling I'll do it at least once. I'll be very surprised if I don't do it at least once. I know my nature. And I am just gonna start talking about something, and I'm gonna get into it, and I'm gonna be moving back and forth, and suddenly I'm just gonna be putting things in the wrong keyframe because of it. There are worse problems to have. I can at least fix it easily. Alright, let's see how this is. I don't mind it being a little wiggly. I mean, making it a little wiggly is the whole point, so... Alright, there we go. I think that this is sufficiently wiggly. I am satisfied. Now, the right side, I'm gonna do some things a little bit differently. I'm not... Well, maybe I should rotate the... Nah. I don't think I'm gonna rotate the belt buckle this time. Because I think even if I did try to move it the other way, it's still gonna kinda have the same effect. So, this time I'm just gonna move it very slightly to the right. Very slightly. Not gonna do a lot. Okay, the back needs to go just a touch further. Okay, yep. There we go. The whole thing just moving over. One of those things, it's really not realistic, but I don't care. I think it'll look good. That's what matters in the end, right? I won't worry about this part of the belt loop covering the belt. Not yet. I want to move the belt first. But I want to get the top part of the belt loop wiggling on over. Let's make it look nice and soft. Because unlike the belt, which looks leathery, the skirt itself looks like a soft cloth. So I want to give that impression with the movement I put on it too. And the floppier I make it here, the softer it'll look. Okay. Yeah, I think that should be good. Now let's wiggle these smaller belt loops. Which ones were they? They were like small loops. Here we are. Or once again, I mostly just want the center bits. Don't want to wiggle things under the belt too hard. Do want to make it look like they're just very much stuck in the belt's grasp. And that they're connected to the top of the skirt here. Kind of hard to do with how I meshed it here, but I think that something like that will be good enough. Let me just push the bottom back a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's a good amount of wiggle. Not every area needs to move a lot, after all. And these guys are kind of stuck on something, so it checks out here. Just wiggle them a little. Make them look a little bit more interesting. There we go. I think that's perfect. Maybe not quite. Maybe just like this little corner right there. Let's try to connect him over to the side a bit once here we are. I was gonna say, once I find the layer again. There we go. I'm always glad that I notice quickly when I put things on the wrong keyframe. I told you it happened at least once. I knew it would happen at least once. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. So let's start doing the belt itself now. I think the way I did it before was fine. So I'll just go ahead and grab all the layers. All of them. Just gotta remember which ones that actually is. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. No. Okay. That should be all of them. I'll just grab my big brush again and we'll just very gently kind of push everything over to the right this time. And then I'll clean certain parts up manually. Okay, yeah. Basically, I noticed that it was yellow, and I was thinking which parts I didn't hit, but it was indeed some parts that I wasn't ready to mess with yet. I think I want to do it a little bit more, so let's grab them all again. No, 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 yes, no, 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 yes, no, yes, no, yes, nope, yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes. Okay. Just figuring out which ones I actually need here. Okay. Now I just straighten things out. And also I want this guy to move over just a bit. Not a lot, just a little. Enough to show that the back has shifted a little bit too. And now it's just time for cleaning. Let's see here. How do I want to fix this? I'm just doing the bare minimum here to make sure it still kind of lines up and doesn't get lumpy in weird places and that kind of thing. But I think that's good. I think it looks like it's kind of straining against the belt here. Okay. Now, I kind of want these parts to rub up against the belt buckle here. Right now they're just going underneath, which I think looks weird. So I'm going to grab those 2 layers. And I'm going to gently kind of push them up here. I don't mind if it gets a little bit thinner. I think that'll look okay. I mean, we'll see if I'm correct, but I'll just have it look like it's kind of folding in there. And I mean, you can see that I'm still making it a little bit thicker in a few spots. Just because I don't want to overdo it. I think that should be fine. Yeah, I think so. Okay, I think that should be fine. I think it's looking like it's coming forward a little bit here. Let me actually see how this looks in motion, because it might look bad. Okay, I think if I fix some of the highlights in the middle, it'll look a little bit more like it's kind of coming outward. Because right now it just kind of looks like it's being squeezed together, and that's not quite right. So let's move some of these center spots up just a little bit higher and make these guys look like they're being stretched out just a little bit more. Okay, and then the other piece of this is this belt. What do you call this? The hole? What should I call that layer? Buttons. Here we are. I need this to come up and this to be, like, thinner. There we go. That should also help sell the illusion that it's just kind of folding back. Yeah. Kind of need to do it on this guy, too. Just want to change the angle of that a little bit. That's what the center vertex there will do well at. Just change where the center point of that goes. Alright. Now I think I can move on to fixing some other spots. Once again, I kind of want to make it look like this part is being restrained against the top part and the buttons here, so I will be tucking certain parts in. And then little floppy piece at the bottom. I want him to point more this direction. Just toward the right. I still don't really like the way this one looks, so I think there's only really one way to fix that, and that's going to be to take these two pieces and just not let them move quite as far against the belt here, but I think that'll be okay. It'll just look like it's getting stuck on the belt buckle itself, which, you know, accurate. That's pretty much what I'm going for. Yeah, I think that works pretty well, actually. Some of this might be moving a bit too much, but I think that's okay. Now I just want to fix the shadows. Squish these two sides together. There we go. Glad I put these on a different layer. Makes them so much easier to move around. Okay, I need a little bit more shadow on this side. There we go, that should do it. In theory. Yeah, I think that works. I think that works just fine. So let's go adjust these little thin pieces, and I think that's it. And I will go and do up and down. Where is the other one? Thin. Here we are. There we go. That's a little bit of wiggle. So let's see, what I want to do for up, I think I'm just going to push everything very slightly down. I don't think I need to do anything very exciting here. Let me see, can I get away with just like a slight rotation here? Okay, it's going to look silly right now, but I think once I fix everything, that should be nice. I think that'll be nice once I fix everything. Put enough of a rotation there to reattach it. There we go. I got a little bit of wiggle on the belt there. Or the belt buckle, rather. So let's see, how do I want to do the loops? I guess they will go down a little bit and just get slightly squished inward. I think that should be sufficient. Something kind of like, I'll squish the top just a little, and the rest will go kind of like this. Just let them squish. Let them squish. Keeping it pretty gentle. These guys don't need to move very much here. In fact, I think I might have moved the top of this one just a little bit too much, because now I can see the back just doing weird stuff, and I don't really think I need to squish it so much that I need to move the back. Just a little bit of squish. Alright, now it's time to just grab all the belt pieces again, and I can never remember which one is which, so let's just go through all the layers. I think that's easier than trying to remember what does what. Because there are a lot of pieces here, and it's hard to talk and read at the same time. This just makes it a little bit simpler for me. Actually, I don't want the flippy in that. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Oh well. Oh, I'll just grab that one on its own then. And maybe with the two connecting... Or no, I think just that one is fine. I just want to pull this down just a tad. Yeah, the backs look really weird right now, and they will for a second. I will reattach them momentarily, but for the time being, I think that this is pretty good. I'm gonna lower the belt buckle down just a little bit more. Oh, I can't do that both at the same time. Just so that this way I don't have to worry about shenanigans with the belt itself here. Not looking for shenanigans in my life right now. I accidentally hit that little scale button. Did not mean to. Let me see, it looks like I have the buttons here on a separate layer, so let me pull them down a touch. There we go. Alright, so far so good. I don't like the angle on the top here. But otherwise, I thought that was okay. Now let's connect the back pieces. Once I find them. Do not know why I cannot find my layers today, but I sure can't. Gonna make it appear just a little bit larger, like we see a little bit more here. And on this one, I think we see a little bit less. Where are you? I'ma just move the whole thing down a little bit. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's see how it looks. Oh, right, I didn't get the smaller loops yet. I just jumped right into the belt. Yeah, I think that's probably sufficient movement. I want to fix these buttons a little bit. Not quite happy with their current location, but I think they're pretty close. They just needed a little bit more attention. Okay, I think that is fine. I don't really think it needs much more than this. So let's go ahead and get these little guys. Since I very rudely forgot them. It does feel extremely rude to forget layers sometimes. I'll just adjust that while I'm there. Where the heck are they? There they are. Like I said, I just cannot find anything today. Could be one of those days, isn't it? Okay, I think that's good. Now we'll do the same over on this side. Just kinda lower some of this down, stretch out the top highlight here to make it look like we're seeing a little bit more of the top. And then squish them in just a little bit. Nice and easy. Not everything here has to be super complicated. Sometimes, just keep it as simple as the way to go. Alright, let's see how this looks. I think that should be pretty good. Look at him wiggle. One more to go, and then it's pendulum time. The exciting time. And then I'm looking at this, and I think that the only thing that might need a little bit of extra physics is just this, right here. The very tip of that, and then of course the big flippy. The big flippy one is gonna come after I get this little area done right here. Okay, so for here, I kind of want things to come up a little. And is there anything else I really want to do? Not really. Just keep it simple. Just kind of let it parachute outward just a tad, and that should make it sufficiently wiggly for me. To be fair, I don't think that there's too much wiggle in going up and down to this belt here. So I think keeping it simple is perfect. This time I'm going to do the small ones first. Because I remember them this time. I was considerably less rude and remembered their presence. Okay, I think that should be all right. I think I will move the very back of this little further over. Yeah. Yeah, Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's perfect. So now I just do it again over here. Let all this kind of parachute outward, and that should be all. Okay. So let's see with the belt buckle. Do I want it to rotate again? Because I thought that looked pretty cool. Does it make sense to do it here? I think it does. Let's do it. This time I will have it rotate a little bit upward. Just a little. And move it up just a little. And then do just enough with the back that it all lines up again. Okay, I think I moved it a little bit too far up, but everything else is great. I like it. Okay. Now to grab all the belt pieces again. It always makes me happy when things are getting a little bit repetitive because it means that I think I've kind of figured out what I'm doing. It feels good. That said, I still don't necessarily remember which layers are actually in the area that I want to fix. Okay, I just move it up a little. I don't want to move the flippy that much. I think that's a bit much. Let's tone it down just a little. Let me see, what direction do I want you to, like, parachute? Probably something like this. Just gonna make it a pain with that over there, but I will do my best. Okay, yeah, that should be good. I think the flippy there was sufficiently straight, so I'm just gonna bring the back up now. I don't think I need to really do anything to adjust it. And now I will try to fix the back of the belt here. Let me see. I had it show a little bit more here, so I think I actually wanted to show a little bit less on this side, which is great for me, because it probably means that I will have less to worry about with the belt loop. So let's kind of hide him a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Now it looks like this bit will come up a little bit more. And I think I will probably change the shape of that a little. So before I go and move the belt loop out of the way, I want to see how I feel about moving around this belt a little. Kind of want it to roll upward a little bit more. I want to see how that looks when I move it. I like it. I think that's good. I just need to adjust the part connecting to this little piece of belt here. It is disrupting the movement a little. Come down here. So basically what I'm doing is here the belt kind of runs fairly straight up until it gets into the belt buckle here. And here I'm kind of making it angle more rounded and upward. It gives it a little bit more of an upward direction. So when I fold it this way, it just... Try to think of like a bracelet on someone's arm or something. And when you look at it straight on, the bracelet is flat. But when their hand goes below you, you see a piece of the top and it kind of looks like it's curving downward. So that gives it kind of a downward direction. And then when their hand goes above them, you hold it like above your head, it'll look a little different. So those are the kinds of things that I'm picturing in my head. It's all just a matter of being able to picture things in 3D space, which, when you're dealing with a 2D object, is harder than it sounds. It is. It's like people always think that, hey, I live in 3D space, so I should understand it. But your brain lies to you and uses a ton of shortcuts to help you understand everything around you. So if you actually want to be able to correctly draw something and accurately draw something, it actually takes some practice to figure out how things do. Basically undo what your brain is... what shortcuts your brain are using. So this way you don't get overwhelmed with sensory information and accurately depict things. It is very hard. Don't worry about it. It takes time. Even now, I find it difficult to find the words to describe exactly what it is I'm looking at. Okay, I think I still have the back of the belt buckle going a little bit high. Let me see. 4, 6 versus... Yeah, so let's make it the same here. And lower this a click. There we go. Now it looks a little bit more like they're moving together. And I mean, movement like this is utter nonsense, which is probably why it looks weird. But this isn't movement, this is physics. And physics can be nonsense. It's fine. That is the beauty of physics. It can be pure nonsense. Maybe not pure nonsense. There are a couple of rules. But nonetheless, you just got a little bit less to worry about. Okay, I think that should look okay. Let me go ahead and check the corners real quick. Ah, wait. I have a little bit on the belt loop here that I have to move, just so they don't overlap here. There we go. Part of me is still a little bit sad that I have to do something like that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so back to checking corners. Corners actually seem pretty okay. Alright, I think they're okay, so I'm gonna go put it on a pendulum. Do I want it in a mesh group? I might actually use this mesh group since the belt will be ignored. Oh, the belt will be ignored. Yeah, I think I can just take the belt out of the mesh group. We'll put it right there, and hopefully it went where I thought it was going to. It did. Excellent. So yeah, I will just put the pendulum here. And we will call you waist belt. Now let's move it around. Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm not ready to move it around yet. I gotta actually put the pieces in. Getting ahead of myself here. Oh no. Okay. I put the pieces on. Now I can move it. Now I can do what I want. Okay, there we go. Yeah, just a little bit of wiggle. I think that is exactly what I want. I think it is perfect. Look at it go. Oh, that makes me happy. And actually, you know, I thought this little guy, this little bit right here might have needed some extra physics. But I actually don't think so. I think he is wiggling the exact amount I want him to wiggle. I think the other parts might be a little bit too jelly-like, though. So let me move this around just a bit less. Maybe down to, like, 80. I pick number at random and call it good. And then I see how it works out. Yeah, it was just a little bit too jelly-like. Now it's a little bit less jelly-like. I think it has a little bit more look of a stiff leather belt than just pure wiggly jelly. And I still don't think this guy needs any extra physics, so I think this is fine. And I think that these belt loops look sufficiently cloth and jelly-like. They should look a little bit more jelly because I want them to be a soft cloth. So I think I can just do the big belt flippy and that'll be fine. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. So I'll put you into there and... Oh, I say, I hadn't made a... Wait, didn't I make a spot for the skirt? Accessory, coat... No, I guess not. Okay. In that case, you will be skirt physics. There we go. Okay, yeah, let's just do the big belt here. And then I'll worry about the rest of the skirt. I will probably keep the skirt itself very, very simple. This will be waist, belt, lippy, physics. There we go. Had to think about that one for a second. Alright, let's have some fun. We're gonna make this guy flip all over the place. This one is definitely gonna take more than one pendulum. So this is just gonna be the basics, where I move the whole thing. And this one doesn't need to be, like, super floppy, but it's gonna be kind of floppy anyway, because it makes me happy. Let's go whoosh. Let it be free! And this kind is always fun because... Oh yeah. I only have to check it a little bit. I do not want it to be clipping up here though, so I'm gonna have to fix the top. Don't have to worry too much though, because once I add the second and possibly a third pendulum, depending on my needs here, it should be fine. Huh. Why did it move the top? I thought that I had the first keyframe, like right, or not keyframe, but the first movement point, like right there. I didn't think it should move the top at all. Well, it did, so... can't have that. I do not want the top part of the flippy to be moving on the flippy physics. That is why I moved it on the normal belt physics. It's not the end of the world if it moves a little bit, but I want to keep it relatively stable there. The big flippy physics that I'm working on now are strictly for the super flippy part. Man, it's off enough that I honestly might just unset and try again. Nah, that's fine. That should be fine. I'll just be more careful when I do the next part. Okay. To the next one. This is another point why the flippy part is fun. Because it goes super fast, and then you just get to see it all just flop everywhere, and it's fantastic. This is all just like pure amusement for me. Life is good. Get to do fun physics. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be a nice swing once it gets in there. Alright, let me make sure that nothing unexpected moved at the top. Okay, looks like I have a little crease I need to smooth out there. Yeah, it still moved a little bit on the right side too. How bizarre. Okay, I guess I'll have to be a little bit more careful with that, because I always thought that if you put the path deform low enough, that it would not affect the things above it. Alright, and let's see, up. I don't think there needs to be a lot of upward movement. I will just kinda squeeze it towards her legs here, and make it just a touch longer. It's still leather, so I don't want it to be like super bouncy. This time I'll try actually starting at the top, and maybe that'll make it so it doesn't move in the places I don't want it to move so much. See if that theory holds up. See, I still learn stuff every day about what I'm doing here. So I'll move it slightly downward and slightly toward the center of her body here. Just gonna get it nice and straight. There we go. I like this. Okay. And for the bottom. Actually, let me double check, make sure there's nothing weird up there. Sure isn't. Okay, bottom. I'll just check all the layers together, movement-wise, once I'm done. And this one will go slightly shorter, so slightly up and out. So just kinda like this. This one will not flip to the side nearly as much as the left, but I will let it flip a little bit. Just whoosh, whoosh. You keep saying the sound effects are important, don't forget them. They will let you visualize your movement better, I guarantee it. I think it's also true while drawing. I admit, going whoosh when I'm drawing hair has improved my hair movement a little bit. Okay. Let's see how it all moves. Oh yeah, look at it swinging around. Although it does look like the top moved a little bit too, which I think is bizarre. But I should keep an eye on that. Do I need to fix anything? I do. There is just enough movement there that I feel compelled to fix it a little. I am hoping that I will not have to be doing this for the next couple of pendulums I want to make. We'll see if I want 2 or 3. I get the feeling it'll be 3, but if I'm okay with a little bit less flop, then maybe it'll only be 2. But this is long enough that I think it's going to be 3. Okay, there we go. Okay, looks good to me, so let's give it the pendulum. This will be waist, belt, lippy, with 2 P's. And I put in the values, and this should be pretty flippy. So let's go ahead and move it. Love making things flippy. The simple joy of making things all physicsy. It's great. That is one thing that I always miss when I'm doing animated illustrations, that because I want to control the movement a lot, so it'll loop well, you know, the animation will loop. I do not actually put physics on my animated illustrations. I just rig it all manually. Okay. Ooh. 100 is too much for you, huh? Actually kind of is. Okay, I will tone it down just a little bit. Basically what I was seeing there is that at 100 it looked like it was reaching the edge of the parameter and bouncing off the edge, which looked pretty bad. So I'll just lower it by like 10. Actually, I might want this to flip just a little bit more. Sure, we'll leave those ones there. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay, let's give it slightly different pendulums. I think I want the resonant frequency to be a little bit bigger, so this way it swings back and forth a little bit more, and the damping to be a little bit less, so once again, it swings back and forth a little bit more. Yeah. Look at it go. It's just swinging around. I might only need 2. Okay, well, let's put that in and get the next one, which is going to be waist, belt, flippy, extra, physics. And from here, I'll do it from probably about halfway down. And from there, I will see if any more is necessary. so this is gonna be basically the same thing, just more. Really flip this. Trust me, it'll be awesome. It'll be so great. So I'm just gonna let this really swing out. Okay, and then I want to check where I started the movements just so this way it's a little bit smoother. Doesn't have that hard crease that was there before. It is not freaking out. There. I think that'll look pretty good when it's on the pendulum. And I'll just check the movement at the end. Pretty much everything here is gonna look weird because it's physics, not logic. So I will just get all the movement down and then figure out what I want to do. We'll make this swing around very nicely. As you can see here, I'm trying to make sure that the blue path really follows the shape of the belt, because that'll make it easier to move. And I really want it to swing out this way now. Left and right are going to be very strong. But I am just picturing all of this movement in my head and exactly how I want to do it. And I just want it to be nice and flippy out this way. Look at it go. Oh, I didn't actually move it high enough, did I? Okay, let's try that again then. Where did I move you up here? Up, kind of at the base of that highlight. Okay. I thought it looked a bit strange. So about there is where it started moving. I want them to start moving at the same place, otherwise it'll look very strange. Alright, let's try that again. And then we really just flip it out. Let it be free. Nothing is freer than physics. I feel that kind of way sometimes when my husband and I are describing all the terrible ways you can die in space. Yes, this is a topic that comes up more often than you might think. You have a saying of just, this is when you cease to become biology, or even chemistry, and simply become physics. Space has a spectacular number of ways it can kill you. Alright, that looks better. Let's do up and down. Which... okay, I can't see, so let me... okay, so yes, this highlight. Just need to make sure that I have a proper landmark for where to start. And it is this highlight, or is it the... shoot. It's... yes, that one. That one. It is that highlight. Right there. That one. Yes. You do not need to doubt it. That is the highlight I was looking for. Okay, and so here I will straighten things out a bit. This one not going to be super floppy. But I will at least pull things in, get things nice and straight. Really straighten out our build here. Get it pointing just straight down. Yeah, I think that's good. Perfect. Alright, now I will do down, which is just gonna bring it up and a little bit out. Right here, gonna be a little bit less flippy than left and right, but probably a little bit more flippy than the up. Just because I think there's room to make this flip upward a little bit. Just something kind of like that. Just a touch of flippiness. Okay. Yeah, look at it go. Do I need to adjust anything in the corners? Like, is it getting super crunchy or weird? There's a couple of places that look a little small. Like here, the tip looks like it's getting a little bit large. I do actually think I want to fix that. Otherwise, it's gonna look a little bit weird, so let me just kind of push all these in a little bit. I don't mind if it looks a little bit stretched, but I just didn't like how much thicker it was getting. Like that one I think is okay. And then down here is getting really big, so I will tuck that into. I just didn't like all this extra thickness. Needs a little bit more through here too. Right through there was also getting a little thick. There we go, I think that's pretty good. And then down here I think had the opposite problem in that it actually looks quite thin. Yeah, it's getting tiny. So I will tell it to get a little bit bigger. There. Perfect. I like it. I like it a lot. Waist, belt, flippy, extra. Okay. We'll see if this needs to be the last one for the belt, or if I need one more to get it sufficiently floppy. I don't think I want this one to swing quite as much, so I'll put it at like 3. And I'll reduce this 1.4. Alright, now let's move it around. Let's see, if the other one was hitting the edge at 90, I will also set this to 90. Just keep them about the same. Alright. Watch it go. Oh yeah. Oh man, that's actually really strong. Okay, it needs to move much less than that. Like, much less. I'm dropping it a whole 30 points here. I think that's the most I've dropped a pendulum in a long time, but it was way strong. I don't know, something about it still feels a little stiff. Let me see. I think I might be using resonant frequency wrong. I'm gonna set you back to 1, and I'm just gonna lower this a little. And I'm gonna do the same over here. I set you back to 1, and I'll leave your damping right there. I think the rigging is fine, because it's moving right, it's just... something about it is really super stiff. Yeah, the output seems fine, it's not like getting super stuck on anything. Is that the same for the one that I have in here? Okay, yeah, this one is getting stuck. Okay, I'll try moving the top one just a little bit less. So basically what I was looking at is, when I'm moving it around, there's this that little dot moves around too. And I saw it kind of go off the grid here. And but that means that the physics are gonna panic. And it's gonna look kind of bad. So, let's also move it down a lot. Move it down to the same amount that I have the other one. Yeah, that's a bit better. I don't know, it still feels pretty stiff. Okay, let me turn the resonant frequency back up. I'm gonna just do it on this one for the time being. Actually, maybe I also want longer length. And I'll put this up to 1.5 just to kind of test it out. Okay, that made it considerably less floppy, actually. That's why I said I don't actually know pendulums very well. Well, I'll watch it swing. Do I want this number to be lower? Let's put it the other... same amount in the other direction, and I'll watch the pendulum swing. Okay, no, I definitely have the right thing in mind. I wanted it big. But man, now it just doesn't like move at all. I do overall like it a little bit better this way, I just need to move it more. So let me put similar things down here, where I just make it longer. Okay, now let's let it... Oh wait, did I just adjust waist belt? Shoot. I did not mean to do that. You were fine the way you were. You were perfect the way you were. Sorry. Terribly sorry. I meant to adjust this one. I meant to adjust that one. Okay. So this is where I just try a bunch of numbers and try to find the ones that work for me. A lot of the time they come fast, but this one I kind of had a specific thing in mind. And it is not there yet. Huh. I had the wrong value there. Let's make you move more too. We'll bring you up to 75 as well. Unfortunately, the numbers that I use here are entirely arbitrary, so sometimes it takes me a couple of tries to figure out how it should go. I still don't feel like it's moving enough. It's still very weak. Okay. So those other things I did probably made it so I wanted high values again. That's fine, I can do that. I will just move them both the same amount for now, and if I need to move one of them a little bit less, I will do that when the time comes. I don't know, maybe I should just output scale. The bottom part looks good now. I think I'm satisfied with that. Not quite so much with the top yet. So I think I'm just going to adjust the output scale here. We will put you at like... let's just try 2. Too much. But yes, right idea. Most of the time I get a lot of the same kind of thing from the that you get from direct output scaling from just moving it around in the you know, when I'm determining the value of how far it moves left and right. But in this case, I think this might be simpler. They do about the same thing. Do I like this? Overall, I think there might actually be a rigging problem in this one. I think I might be flipping it just a bit too much at the bottom. So I'm actually going to tone that back just a little. Because when I was looking at it, I just felt like this part was flipping a little bit too much. So I'm going to just straighten it out just a little bit. That's fine. And that's fine. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, yeah, I think I like this. I mean, I think the swinging is maybe excessive for how little she's moving, but I like excessive. Excessive is fun. That doesn't make sense, but I think I still like it. No, I changed my mind. It's a little too excessive. So I'm actually going to take down this guy a little bit. Back to 90. Like I said, so many things are entirely arbitrary. Don't worry about it. It takes me a little while to find the right numbers too. All you gotta do is look at it and decide if that's how you want your thing to be. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that should look pretty good when it's actually on her. So, just a little bit more until I have all of the stuff that'll be visible on the model next to me. I want to do a little bit of stuff with her skirt. Just the folds around here and the pockets, which will probably necessitate me just finishing off the entire skirt. So, that'll be what I do tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow is another rigging day. Hello there, Edgy Kitty. I was just getting ready to stop, but... So I probably will not be here much longer. But look, I got the belt going all flippy. And doing stuff like that always makes me happy. It is definitely excessive, but I think it works. Maybe I should make it a little bit more subtle. I keep debating with myself on whether or not I want it to be really flippy, because I like making things really flippy. But I don't actually think it makes sense with how little her waist is moving. Oh, I'm a little bit sad. I still feel like I gotta tone it back a little bit. I think that might actually be easier to do here, where I make the scale smaller, the reverse of making it larger. I do like being a little bit excessive, but I have my limits. I actually do think that looks better than what I had before. I'm even gonna lower this guy a little bit more. I might even adjust the other numbers a little bit. Yeah, I think I will. Ah, man. Choices, always so hard. So hard to just kill all the things I think are fun. But I think it's necessary. It's not the kind of thing where it makes sense for it to be that flippy. Yeah, and I don't think it feels particularly stiff either. Okay, yeah, I think that looks good. For real this time. Like, if I really swing her around, then yes, I do still get pretty excessive values, but if I'm just moving her around normally, and I mean, when she's being controlled by a head like this, then, yeah, that should be even lighter. Alright, so tomorrow, skirt physics. I've been kind of looking forward to those too, because I think they'll be fun. Although I'm gonna have to keep them super tame, because her legs, they ain't moving at all. There we go, getting close to the end. Let's see, what's left. Skirt, which will include just all the folds here, the zippers here, a little bit of floppiness over here. I have a little bit I want to do in her shoes, just a little. And Then, of course, the bottom of her coat. I think that'll be it for her body, though. And after that, it's just going to be the little floating summon guy here that I always have hidden. Yeah. So, almost there. But I think that this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.